welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into some really interesting source material. It tackles something I think a lot of you listening might resonate with.
Yeah, especially if you're, say, a conscious coach or maybe in a similar kind of heart-centered practice.
Exactly. You're doing this amazing transformative work with clients, but then, there's just this mountain of admin, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. Onboarding clients, sorting schedules, chasing up follow-ups.
Right. It just eats into the time and, honestly, the energy you'd rather spend actually coaching.
It's that hidden part of the business, the mechanics. And sometimes it feels, well, a bit disconnected from the intuitive work itself.
Yes, that's the tension. And this source material really goes there. It acknowledges that feeling you might have, that maybe bringing in something like AI, something so technical.
Into a spiritual business
Yeah.
might feel a bit off, like it compromises your authenticity or something.
Like it pulls you away from your purpose.
But what's fascinating is how the source tackles this. It doesn't just brush that feeling aside.
Nah.
No, it really leans into it. It basically argues that, this idea of AI versus spirituality, it's not necessarily a real conflict.
Okay. How so?
Well, it suggests that if you use AI intentionally with the right approach, it can absolutely support the intuitive side of coaching. It can honor it.
So the goal of this material then is showing how AI can be this practical tool to automate the boring stuff.
Pretty much. Automate those tasks that drain you, free up your time, maybe even help you scale things up.
And this is key. Without losing that genuine connection or your core values, it's about making the tech work for your purpose, not against it.
Exactly. Aligning it. And the source gets quite practical, offering specific ways coaches could do this, often using targeted prompts for AI tools.
Right, prompts. Okay, so what are some examples? Where does it suggest AI can really help?
Well, one big one is automating the client onboarding process. Setting that right vibe from day one.
Yeah, that first impression is so important in conscious work.
Totally. So the source suggests prompts like something along the lines of create personalized onboarding for a spiritual coaching client that feels really aligned and nurturing.
Okay.
And it would detail maybe a warm welcome email, ideas for an intake form with more soul-centered questions, maybe a reflective follow-up note, that kind of thing.
So it's not just efficiency, it's using AI to craft communication that actually sounds like you and reflect your values.
Precisely. The idea is it actually enhances the connection because the client feels really seen right from the start.
Interesting. Okay, what else?
Content creation comes up quite a bit. Social media, for instance. Keeping that consistent presence takes serious energy.
Oh, tell me about it. Brainstorming posts day after day.
Right. So the source suggests you could prompt AI with something like draft 5 social media posts, mixing spiritual insights with practical coaching tips in a nurturing tone. Add a question for reflection.
That allows you to stay visible and valuable without, burning out your own creative reserves.
Exactly. Saves that energy for the actual coaching sessions.
And the material mentioned session recaps too, custom ones.
Yes. We know how vital those are for clients to really integrate the work. So you might prompt AI to, say, summarize a coaching session about navigating change. Highlight the client's key aha moments and suggest 2 follow-up reflection questions.
So the client gets timely, personalized takeaways. It deepens the work between sessions.
Reinforces everything. It makes the transformation stickier, you could say.
Okay, so stepping back, the main message here seems to be that AI, used thoughtfully with specific prompts, gives conscious coaches real, practical ways to offload that admin burden.
Yeah, automating onboarding, content, recaps. It fundamentally buys you back your time, your most valuable resource, really.
And the source is clear that time isn't just for having less on your plate. It's specifically to focus more deeply on coaching and also to potentially scale the business.
Right, scaling in a way that feels right, that feels aligned and sustainable.
And this leads to the final point, which honestly I found quite provocative. The source directly connects using AI to scale your coaching business.
Yeah. To what?
To things like breaking through money blocks and manifesting abundance effortlessly.
Wow, okay, so it's drawing a direct line there.
It seems so. From this perspective, using tech to streamline your spiritual or conscious practice isn't just practical. It's framed as actually helping to clear the way for, financial flow.
So removing the friction of admin through AI could be seen as enabling abundance within that spiritual framework. That's definitely something to think about.
It really is. How does that connection strike you? Using tech as a pathway to abundance in a conscious business makes you think, doesn't it?